Then if they say Pahua paid off, or they say Amono Moidoe or Tanai. The difference between those things. So we said until now, we basically started the last 2 weeks with a Hakira. Is it Eidin that said Ksav Yodeinu V'Anusim? Is it Chazorah from the Kiyum? Or it's Eidus against the Shtar?
Against themselves.
Against the Shtar.
They signed on this.
Yes, no, but the same Eidin. If it's just Chazorah from the Kiyum, so maybe I don't need Eidin Eidus in it. But if it's against the Shtar, so Lichoiro you need Eidus. Or no? Maybe it doesn't have a din Eidus, but I have a migo against the Shtar because the Shtar is so weak. I'm neman mitzad migo. Those are the three tzdodim. Again, one side is that I'm retracting from the kiyum, and I don't need din Eidus. Another side is that I'm fighting the Shtar because the Shtar is weak. And here I have two options. I have an Eidus on the Shtar, or migo on the Shtar. What's the nafkamina? So in Siman Chav Zayin, he brings the Birkas Shmuel and Nafkamina. You have Siman Chav Zayin? In Rashi, in Toyses, he has where do you see Rashi says about it? Anything?
Rashi says, is a din in Eidus. Rashi says,
Dikabe Eidus Chod Agod Exit.
Rashi says, Moidu Shtar Shechod Goy. Rashi says, Shuv means he cannot come back and say. He cannot come back.
So about the Loive. Loive is not Eidus. Loive is Neman is Taina.
But Shuv means Neman. He's not Neman.
Neman is Nemanus, not Eidus.
He Eidus on the Shtar.
Not Eidus.
He said on the Shtar. And basically he works with Amigo. So there's
no way. There's no way. There's the Loive. Talk about the Eidim, not the Loive. Okay. So let's see Chav Zayin for a second. That will be an opening for us. And it'll be Chav Zayin. Madi Ogati Be'ora Achas. You will have Chav Zayin. Birkas Shmuel Chav Zayin. You have, guys? Rabbi Gabriel, you have Chav Zayin? Good. Everybody else has it? So he has it, what's his shaila? Can you have Azoma? Im yazimu sa'idim v'chol agodas anusim ha'inu psul eidus ha'inu im yesh Azoma. Domidoraisa en ze eidus ha'vid rabbanon. Can we have Azoma on the statement of Ktanim Anusim Psuleidus? If it's as a din Eidus, so maybe we can have Azoma. If it's not an Eidus, it's retracting from the Kiyum, but not Eidus, or it's not just a Migo, there's no Azoma. But he wants to say, even according to the side it is Eidus, but it's Eidus only with the Rabbanon. Because with the Orais the Shtar is finished, and it's Choyzer Omagi. It's only with the Rabbanon that the rabbis opened it. And once the rabbis opened it, so then what? It's a Eidus Midoraisa, as Pasha's Eidus the Rabbanon. So can we have Azoma on that?
Azoma the Rabbanon.
an Eidus the Rabbanon. Yes, that's his shayla. Oynam zetos. Do mikeven al de takonas chol yesh kan etzrich Eidus chashuv u Eidus gmuro. De mali mipnei iman nidrash le Eidus. Ari gidu lo no Eidus beitzich chachomim. He says the simple answer should be once the rabbis required Eidus, it's Eidus. It's Eidus midoraisa now.
Which paragraph are you reading?
Chav Zayin Aleph. Yes, Oynam zedavka kol zman. When I don't consider Eidus Tar Eidus, if the Eidus of the Shah is not finished, and therefore while they continue on talking, it's a continuation of the Eidus. By Psula Eidus, is not considered Choyzum Umagi. אבל במוידוי והמונו, זה כבר חושב השטר כאידוס גמורו, שוב, אבא עליהם, דין חוזר ומגידים, זה כבר נזכר עם השטר. ואם חוזר ומגידים, זה לא מעניק כלל. So he wants to say, by moidoi and amono, the shtar is finished, חוזר ומגיד, so it's not eidus, so there's no azom on it. But by ksav yodeinu ve'anusim psul eidus, etc., why they can speak? Because the Eidus of the Shah is not finished. So now they can talk about Psul Eidus. Anusim Ktani. Is that considered Choyzur Umagi? And the Agodo. Ele min tzarache yesh la'ayin b'chir v'zomo. Dim noi ma'aden alem rak din apesh osar im kenen ze rak kemo shon iskayim. Ve'im korim ashtar. Saleke b'ze azomo. And now he says another side. Even if I rip the shtar, not mitzad eidus, just mitzad migu, gam kenen ze agodas eidus. Ve'en alei achir v'zomo makas dolo itane. הנה חקרתי מגבר, איך הדין לעניין חיר וזומו ומלכוס, דלא יתענה ואחילוס לא ידין נגד השטר. He has a chakira. When I made against the star, what kind of power is that? Lo mi boy l'shita de nemonus be'alma v'adai deleke azomo malkis and eidus. If it's just nemonus apeshosar migu, so it's not azomo. El rashida de chashiv eidim, those who learn that I have the power, the first side of the Birkat Shmuel and the Sivis, that is the din eidus, the star is 0, and I can destroy the stars any way I want. And it's a din eidus. Misapkeli, im lo yom ademikem doraisa in eidus, ele sipo dvorim ba'alma. The doraisa ashtar choshuv eidus, nechkeret, velo me'anim imele rak chachom no sonu din eidus, gam ken echi alem din eidim la'azamoson al koison. So this is the chakira. The chakira is, we're taking now the tzdodim we had. We had 3 tzdodim here, 3 sides, which are really 2. According to Chachomim, that say in the Mishnah, that Eidim that say Ksav Yodeinu v'Anusim Psuleinos v'Ktanim, they are believed, Ne'emonim. Rav Meir says Ne'emonim, Chachom says Ne'emonim. According to Chachom, the Ne'emonim, why the Ne'emonim? Ve'lama Ne'emonim, this is an Ansadeh. And Taisa says, because the star is not Mekuyom, and they say Ksav Yodeinu v'Anusim is not Mekuyom. What shot an answer? Which are 3 tzdodim, which already are 2. One side is that the star is 0, it's like cheres, and therefore the Eidus it's eidus, and there's no trei v'trei, there's no star that fights back. It's eidus that crushes the star. That you rip the star, karina the star. So we want to say that eidus, according to this side, it really means eidus. That you can have a soma on it. No, it doesn't mean that it's only Eidus Rabbanon. What is it? We said that Shtar is Cheres with Rabbanon. The rabbis required Kiyum, the Shtar is Cheres, and I can cancel it not only Midin Kiyum, I can cancel it with any claim of Psulim and Ktani. And that power is the power of Eidus. And there's nothing fighting back. So So if it's Eidus right now, can I have Azoma on it or not? I just said now. Because it's Eidus. The Eidus of Shtar was never finished. And now I said, Eidus of Shtar lo nigmar.
Why?
But why the Eidus not nigmar? Because Chachom Yitzrichu Kiyu. According to Chachomim, they learned there's not only Tainas Mezuyov, any other time there can be claim against a Shtar. And therefore, they argue on Rabbi Meir. They argue on that Tzvor that Tosfos brings down in Rashi by Rabbi Meir. That the Shtar only Ziyuf I can claim. Any other claim I don't claim. No, all I can claim any other claim because the Shtar is Cheres with for any other claim. So now it's a Din Eidus, so there's no Shtar that's fighting back. And therefore I believe this excited. I ripped the Shtar. So now that according to that side of the Shtar, this Eidus Midrabono. Is it Eidus that you can have a Zoma on it or not? That's question number one. Why not? Maybe the Rabbanon you could, maybe not. I don't know.
How can the Azomo is a thing that they should be all the time with them or in the Eidus. But here,
Azoma, they will say, how can you say that you were there and you were Nusim, you were us, Bechlal? Yeah. What it means, you said that you wrote it and you are Nusim because A, B, and Z. Oktanim. I can do yes, I can have a Zoman Ktanim.
I think because if it's a long Eidus, one option is to start the Eidus, but that's
now they're not Ktanim.
Now it's finished. Yeah.
Azomo is one way, and he says there's two Hakivas. Azon and Malchus. When somebody gives an Eidus, false Eidus, you get Malchus. This is two things. And this Eidus is a Din Eidus to have Azom on it, and can you have Malchus on it? How can you have Azom? A very good question. How can normally Azom is, I was there. Two Eidim would say, you said you were there, just were Nusim, you weren't there. You weren't there. Mimele is forged. Mimele is Mitzvah, but you weren't there. You weren't there to sign Bechal. That's Azom, you can have Azom.
No, but here it's a long Eidus.
Oh, here it's a long Eidus.
So how can you do Azome in one part of the Eidus and you're not till the end of the Eidus? The Eidim that's making...
And more of that, let's talk a little bit more, and more of that. It's not one long Eidus. It's he's saying that when I wrote the Shtar, he's saying Eidus about them. According to the Svara is that the Choyzer Magid, so when he said Ksav Yodeinu, she said, then Eidus was complete. Then you want to continue on Anusim with a Migu, it's a Migu against the Shtar because the Eidus then was finished and now you want to talk now. It's about something that really separated. I threw it there and now you're talking now about then. It's Choyzer Magid. That's a Svara. But if we're saying, you're right, if you say that it is Eidus, so really I'm saying, it's not talking about then. I'm saying, no, I'm talking now, since the Shtar is not finished. Now I'm talking, and now that I'm talking, I'm continue to talking and saying Anusim. It's one long Eidus, and I don't separate the Eidus of now to then. Actually, now it's a new Eidus. Midrabanon at least. So then we have Hakir, and now they have a new Eidus with Rabbanon. Is it Azomo? Can you have Azom and Loisana on it or not?
Why would we Loisana the Rabbanon?
What? Why not? Once you need Eidus with the Rabbanon, Chachom Yitzrichu, you need Eidus. As a Din Eidus, you have Loisan, you have Malch, you have Azoma. Why not? Just side like this, it's Chakira. You have to bring a proof to one of the sides. So I think in the end, he doesn't even bring a proof. I think he says a Svar. But let's see what he says.
Why did they decide for here?
What?
Why did they decide here specifically? Why here?
Because the rabbi said that the generations went down, people have forged stuff. So they said, listen, every shtar, every document that comes to us, we suspect the document. So according to this side, we suspect the document to the level that you need Eidus, that the Eidus continues. With the Rabbanon, and I was excited, is one Eidus against the weak shtar. So according to that, we have a Hakira. That Eidus is the Eidus that can have a Zoman or Loisan and Malchus on it, lashes. That's according to this side. The second two sides that Bikash we brought down in Chachomim was a really, when it's Exavidainu, boom, It's Kshavdenu Shtar is already 10 years ago when they wrote the Shtar is finished. So now there's Kshavdenu about then. It's like a child, an adult gives a testimony what he saw as a child. It doesn't work. So according to that side, there's no edus. So when they say, then we're apostle, they can't speak now. Mitzad, the psulim. The only thing they can say that then they were kosher. That's the handwriting. So when they talk about then, that's the handwriting, you believe them. But when they speak, anusim, ktanim, psul edus, that were apostle then, 10 years ago when they wrote the Shtar, they cannot made now about when they were a child or years ago an apostle in the beginning. So they say we're apostle in the beginning, he says no edus anymore. And therefore, it's only amigo apeshosa. It's only like amigo apeshosa. So according to that, there is no power of edus here, and there's no shaila of azoma or malchus on that. It's only amigo in apeshosa. So that was his hakira. Ve'eshiv li al ze abochu a'ilu mi brisk ne'oyoi. Where's my Rabbi Pia, by the way? Everything's okay with it? What?
He doesn't feel well.
Refuah shleima. Okay. So this bochu ilu mi brisk answered him. The din ze of edus of azoma and lav of loisan and edus vegam, and he added din drisho vechakiro. There is halacha when you give an edus, you have to have, when you give a testimony, you have to have an investigation. Court needs to investigate you. Yes, Rebbe Jacobson, what's your first name? Mendel?
If it's always being investigated, whenever someone brings documents to court, it always needs to be investigated, and when's it ever complete?
No, it's complete when you validate the Shtar. Basin puts in a handpick, they put a stamp on it, says, okay, finish. It's notarized. Finish.
So until he pays you the money.
That's with the Rabbonon. Not until he pays you the money.
Until they bring it.
When they validate the Shtar, that's when the Drish and Chakira finish with the Rabbonon. Midoraisa, the Shtar is validated right away. We saw two opinions about it. We're going to talk about it. Rashi and Toises, in the Shir, is when you have a Shtar Midoraisa, is it valid, complete Eidus, Nechkero Midoraisa? Or that's Rashi. And Toises said, no, Shtar Midoraisa is not Shtar, only when the Loive is Moide that he wrote it. But if it's not, and he says Parua. But if he does not Moide he wrote it, even Midoraisa is nothing. If it says forge, even Midoraisa is nothing. Okay, that's Machlokes Rashi and Toises, not Kofkes. We're going to talk about it soon. But I just want to say what the Birkat Shmuel says. Because it's a short point, which is Nogea to what we learned in the last 3 weeks. I'm reading now Chov Zayin in third paragraph, in Chov Zayin and Aleph. Ve'eshiv li al ze abochu ra'ilu mi brisk. The din is this halacha of azoma lo yisane. Vegam the din drisha v'chakiro la'achar she'irshiru chachomim. Yes, but din azoma. He says, Vada, there is a din azoma, there is a din drisha v'chakiro. The ikar din drisha v'chakiro hu din be'edus. The law of Drish Hakira is the law of a testimony. You cannot receive a testimony unless you have investigation. When the rabbis machshir shtar, the testimony has been received. And if that's so, it's part of the law, don't lie, and the testimony. Don't give a false testimony. This is for you, Jacobson, he said very good. Once the shtar becomes valid, it means the edus is valid. So that means the Beis Din investigated, because edus is kenech keroiduson. So then you have the edus, you write the shtar, right away Chachomim made and investigated. It means they accept this edus. So if it's accept this edus, and once Chachomim said it's kosher, because they call the Machshiret, Niskab lo edus. Umimela aru bichlal lo yisane, and bichlal yichek ro'ei. The ikar the aved din edus kemo da ragzeras hakosu. The Eiz Eidus Tia al Pi Din Eidus Tia Aleo Din Eidus, whatever. Once the Eidus becomes the Eidus, not because verbally came to court and investigated, rather because we wrote on the star and Chachomim, they said, as if it needs to investigate it. So automatically the investigation is there. So it makes the testimony a testimony, investigated testimony. So it's a din eidus, and then if he said false eidus, you deserve azoma, you deserve lashes. Al pi din eidus tiale din eidus in azomo, v'lo yisane, v'nochon he says it's true. וכבר שמעתי מבין מורי ורבי הגון רב מוישה סולובייצ'יק. He heard from Reb Chaim Alevi's son, Reb Moshe Shediber Imoy Verabi Oido Zev Einus Bezochoin. He said, I remember that his son spoke about Reb Chaim to my Rebbe about it. I don't remember the answer. So now in base is Machia. So he heard from Ilui Nibriski that he heard from the Ilui Nibriski, that's one man, and also he remembered that the son of Chaim Nibriski, Moshe, spoke to his father, that what? That Eidus Shebeshar, it's Eidus Nechero. So if you have Chakira on it, it becomes a complete Eidus. So Vada, this Eidus has a din of Eidus of Azoma Beisane. So if the Eidus of the Shah is extending, and now they're talking Savadenu Vanusim, and it's Eidus according to the side of the Nesivis and others, and the Rishonim we saw the Shim Kubetzes. This Aroshan said that the Eidus continues, and therefore Tochelei Dibu, and Eidus continues like Savadenu. And it's not about them. It's now no Eidus about them, but it's now. And therefore I don't say, and therefore when I say Ktanim and Psulim, I'm not saying I'm out, there's no Eidus anymore. Because now it's a new Eidus right now. So therefore right now it's Eksav, so it's all part of the new Eidus that it continues. And therefore it's a standard, it's very good, I just want to finish. It's Eidus that stand on its own, therefore that Eidus will have Asomo. Yes, what do you want to say? Yes.
No, that is my right, but I was first.
Right.
So
but what is the definition?
No, the aloche, Shita Mikubetze say that you can't do it because you can't say it's my writing and then say something opposite.
True, but there's something prior to that. You have to add, listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We have to say that when they say Ksav Yodenu, it's not about them.
No.
It's now testing about them. It doesn't get attached to them. Because if it gets to that to then, I'm saying a story of what I was then, and it's about then. So when I say Ksav Yodenu, it's cut. When I continue to talk, you cannot even talk to the Dibu, cannot attach it. Why? Because I cannot say about then that I was puzzled. I'm not an aid anymore. So therefore, it's out of the business. So it's only migu or a peshosa. But according to this side that it is eidus, I'm saying eidus now. Now I'm saying an eidus. Now that I'm saying an eidus with anusim tochelei divu, anusim tanim sul eidus. So therefore we'll have a dinazom loisane on it.
But wait, so are you saying but
yes, I'm talking. Listen.
Also, when they finish,
yes.
what they say,
yes.
They said eidus. Adai lo nechkara, because the basin is there.
Yes.
The guy is coming and saying, hey, you was stunning, the other guy, the other eidus.
Yes.
In that moment they made on an eidus that is not nechkara. What is nechkara by basin?
No,
I think that the basin disagree with everything that is.
No.
Why not?
When the Eidim come and say Ksav Yodenu, right now they're making the Shalmi the Rabbono Nechero. Right now. And in the Tochelei Dibu they're saying this Nechero of Ksav Yodenu, we want Nusim.
Okay.
So therefore as the Din Eidus against the Shtar, the Shtar is 0. And right now we're making the Shtar Ksav Yodenu, and right now we're also knocking it out. So as the Din Eidus, and therefore we'll have an Din Azomo and Moisane on it.
But
yes.
It's not that the basin says, okay, what do you have to say?
Doesn't matter. But as long you have the din of Nechero, this Ilui Bibrisk said, as long we have the din Eidus Nechero, Necho means investigate.
They ask, so
In order for a testimony which have a name of a testimony to get lashes on it, and to get azomo, has to be edus and investigate. Now, once Chachomim gave it a din of investigation,
Why? No.
that's what the Chachomim gave. Midoraisa, without Chachomim, without the Chash of Ziyuf, every shtar is nechero. Every shtar, where we learn it from, we it's now a sugya now, but the Rambam Rif says we learn from Gitin, we learn from Psukim, that the shtar is a din of edus. And therefore, once the shtar is a din of edus, in order to have a din of edus, has to have Drisha Chakira. So when the Drisha Chakira takes apart, when the Eidim say Ksav Yodeinu, that's when the Drisha Chakira takes apart. And Toch Kei Dibur say Anusim, it's one long edus against a shtar, which is not fighting back, but against Cheretz. And therefore it's edus, and on this edus we have Azom and Loisane.
That is Azom.
Yes, that's what he wants to say. Now he continues. Ina Ramban, Kosam Ramban, Beshitim Kubeses, Bedim Rom Barchomo. Mimonofshach. The Ramban says this is a Mimonofshach. Keivan the Sovadeinu Shebeshtar Choizum Umagi. Once Rom Barchomo holds, the first Rom Barchomo, that Eidu Shebeshtar can continue and talk, because it's only a shtar. Im Ken Anusi Machmas Momoin, Yazakashia, my time Eloi Me'ani. It's Eidus, because the Eidus of the shtar is not finished. And when I say Anusi Machmas Momoin, why did I believe? They make themselves Reshoim, V'imishub Demash and Avshe Reshoim, Loi Me'emne, still, you cannot feel in Ksav Yodom Tzavomacher, my time Mehemni. If it's because they make themselves Reshoim, that's the reason I believe. So you have Eidus that say names of Reshoim. We talk about the first Rom Barchomo that goes on the Sefer. So he says the reason the Sefer is because Ksav Yodom, according to you, Machmas Nefoshes, the Reshoim, mitzad the Eidus, there's no problem. Even though the shtar is Mekuyom, the shtar is Mekuyom, still I can speak. So shtar Mekuyom is not finished anyhow. Even Ksav Yodom, and that's why there's no Choyzur Umagi. So mitzad the Eidus continues. Because the same Eidim. Why you cannot speak or there's a Reshoim? So what have to come on? Why the Mishnah says I don't believe them? Because of Ksav Yodom Yoitzes. Not the point, it's because of Reshoim. V'lichoiro, Dilma mitoras Eidus Le'me'ani, mitoras Smigo Me'ani v'tzorchim. Says maybe Rom Barchomo wants to say, when they make themselves Reshoim, they not believe mitzad Eidus, only mitzad Migo. Okay, tzorchim. V'tirets. What's important is the Tirets. Mishum Dolo Yipalgin and Diburoi. The explanation is the Mishum da Liebe the Rom Barchomo the lo choshiv kenechero mikvar leinyan the lo choizum magid. Rom Barchomo holds. Rom Barchomo holds. You have to use the other one. Rom Barchomo holds that the Eidus of the shtar is not finished Eidus and he can continue to talk. It's not a problem of Choyzur Umagi. Only by Eidus, by God the Baal Peh is Choyzur Umagi. But the shtar is never finished. He always can speak. So then he has a kash, he already can speak. So what I can, the Reshoim, if the point is the Reshoim, why the Mishnah says that the reason Ksav Yodom Yotzor Kemacher, even Ksav Yodom Kemacher is the Reshoim, I believe. So he says no. Mishum Dolo Yipalgin Diburoi. Nira Biuroi, what's the explanation? The Mishum, da Liebe the Rom Barchomo, the lo inech choshiv kenechero mikvar. Lean out of the Choyzur Umagi. Rom Barchomo, the first Rom Barchomo, that holds there's no problem of Choyzur Umagi. Elo kshomu Ksav Yodeinu, only when they say Ksav Yodeinu, choshiv kemoi meid me'ato. It's as if there's a new Eidus now. V'lo naise shtar klal mafreya. It doesn't become shtar at all backwards. Just right now, the Eidus just continues, and I'm continuing not talking new Eidus. V'al kein, therefore, ki chozu v'om anusim v'ktanim sul Eidus, Avechod Eidus. Valkein, Lol Pagin and Dibo, we don't cut his words, and therefore he's not believed. Aval Lerova, this is the main point. Aval, this is 4 lines before the end of paragraph base. Aval Lerova, that's the most important for us. But according to Rova, the Masik that he concludes, the Choshiv Kenechero, the Shar is Nechero, which means there's Choshiv Magi. How? Midoraisa. Midarabonon, I can continue to as long as I'm doing Kiyum. Vimkena de Akiyum, Choshiv Ki Nikva. That's the point. That's what I said before by heart. That when according to Rov, second on Baruch, that really Sharas Kenech Yerushalayim based. So how can I speak now? Because the rabbi said I need to investigate it. Need Kiyum, maybe it's forged. So now when I'm talking new Eidus, or no, I'm talking about them. I'm talking about them. So therefore when I'm talking about them, Choshu Ke'ed Mikva. Al Kein Lo Choshi Kechod Agoda. Therefore, it's not like one agodo, mashomar hakachanusim k'tanim suleidus. Now, that is the first side, or the second side. The side of the Birkat Shmuel, or the Rishonim, or Nesiv, it doesn't matter, all of them together. That is not a eidus. Even though I said k'sav yodeinu v'anusim b'toch kidei dibur. It's no, because when I say k'sav yodeinu, I'm basically saying about them. That they are made about then I was Ksav Yodai. It's not that the Eidus is open, it can continue on, and now I'm making a new Eidus, and if I can say Ksav Yodai Vanusi. What?
2 parts.
2 parts. Rather, whatever was then, that's the Eidus, and I can talk now about then, Midarabonon, can talk now about then, Midarabonon, that then was my Ksaviyat. Really then, when you see, when the document was prepared, it's really my Ksaviyat then. Now when it can't continue anymore. You only talk about then. Now continuations are talking about now. What are you saying now? He's saying now, Anusim times you can't talk about it anymore. So you can have a Peshosar, you can have Amigo. Is that Eidus? So 1 second. So what? So therefore it's not Eidus. And therefore, there's no deen of Malchus, and there's no deen of Azoma on this. Because the Necho is then. But, now that there's a but here. But according to the first side of the Nesivis and the Rishonim, that what?
Not because of them, because they are not aiding now.
Right. But according to the side, but the first side was that now there's Eidus, Shtar is 0, and now only Mezuyov can knock it out, any Taina Acheres can knock it out by saying Ktani Manusim Psul Eidus. Because the Shtar is Cheres, so the Shtar is Cheres, Midoraisa the Eidus is finished. Midrabonon, the Shtar is Cheres means the Eidus is nothing, it's no Eidus, it's Cheres. Cheres means 0, no Eidus. So now when I say Ksav Yadeinu, I'm now giving Eidus. And talking to Dibur, I'm saying what? Anusi. Kdanim, Sul Eidus. So there was in Eidus against the Shtat, to rip the Shtat. It's like Ron Bar Choma, the first Ron Bar Choma. And that says, according to this side.
And there is Azoma.
And then he says, I agree, Nochoin, to the Silim Ibris, that really is a Din Azoma on it.
It's 2 things in one thing.
What?
It's 2 things in one thing. No, if it's Eidus.
If it's Eidus, so then you can have a Somo, and you can have Eloi sign on it. Now we're going to go back, after we know this piece, let's go back to Simon. Oh, Chafei. No, it's Chavdalet, it's Chafei and Chavav. 1 second. I want to, because one of the places. Okay, it is Chafei, you're right. Yes, Yecheskel. Wow, very good, Yecheskel. Very good. In the end of Chafei. Beyeser biu b'shnei oifanim. Very good.
The Marsha.
What?
The Marsha have written there.
So maybe we'll start from base. Chafei base. Because in the end of Beyeser biu, he explains what I just said now by heart, and he defines it better. So when he says in Chav Zayin, now make it Chafei base. Venire de mada amrina lelishna ba'asa darom barchoma. The anusim hainu machmasmom and ein emonim. The lishna ba'asa darom barchoma holds that they said anusim hainu machmasmom and they're not believed. Why? Shuv de'eno esim etzivas v'rosho. La pshat ha'shein tzorch lo yima. The second pshat that they're retracting for, they said, even though the edus of the kiyum is not finished, they got to be kiyum choshev edus shepsul edus guf edus hakiyum. So Chloima, he wants to say, according to the second side, he's really begging the issue back. According to the second side, that really they're not fighting the shtar, because the shtar is standing on its own. There's not ansade, there's not fighting the shtar. But they're retracting from the kiyum. You don't rip the shtar, but they're retracting from Ksav Yodeinu Anusim, from the Ksav Yodeinu. By saying Ksav Yodeinu Anusim, so they retract from what they say Ksav Yodeinu. So he says, wait a second, there's a problem with this side. Because when they retract from Ksav Yodeinu, means when they say Ksav Yodeinu, the edus of the kiyum was not finished. It was still open, because you need my kiyum to make the edus of the shtar nechikon.
It's an open document.
It's an open document. Very good, Yecheskel. So therefore, if it's an open document, so now when I retract it from the kiyum, why is not the edus also against the shtar? So when he said anusim machmasmomoy, you machshi the edus by palgin liburoy. The anusim hainu machmasmomoy. According to the side that they retract, so really it's not edus, but it is edus because I need kiyum. So when I say Ksav Yodeinu, I receive it as a kiyum edus on the shtar. And when I say anusi machmasmom, and I say pagin dibur. And we explained last week, because it's not mamish mekayim edus, is to fix the edus. Fix the edus you do pagin dibur. V'la pshat harishon, de'eino chesorim beguf hakiyum. It's not a problem in the kiyum when I say Ksav Yodeinu. It's not a problem when I say anusim. It's not a chisor beguf hakiyum. V'rak ha'edus ha'edus toivo mitzanatzmo. The edus is a good edus saying Ksav Yodeinu v'anusim machmasmomo is a good edus by itself. We talk about now in the side that I don't accept the testimony of the witnesses. They say anusim machmasmomo. According to the second one, and the Reisha. Even though the shtar is on Mekuyam, when they say Ksav Yodeinu you don't believe them. So he says, according to the first shot, means when I retract from my kiyum. So when I say anusim machmasmomo, I don't allow you to retract, and I say cut palgin dibur. But according to the pshat of that Ksav Yodeinu anusi means I'm fighting a shtar, because the shtar is zero. So I'm believing not to say anusim. The only problem is that I'm stuck because I said anusim I meant by sofer reshoim. So how do I perceive this? So why the pshat harishon de'eino chesorim beguf hakiyum? It's not a chesoron in the body of the kiyum. The raka'edus ha'edus toivim mitzadato is a good edus. Shlochoshiv an ansade is not considered an ansade that are not anusim. Lo yidomi klal lepagin dibur. There's no pagin dibur in here. Why? Do beis edus emo. That's the punchline. There are two separate testimonies. Again, according to the pshat, that what? That the shtar is cheres, is zero. The star is Cheres, a 0. And then when I'm talking now, I'm talking Eidus. I say, Ksav Yadeinu v'Anusi, Psul Eidus, Hashem believe. The only reason why they don't believe me, because when I say Anusi Machmas Momoin, I'm not Rosho. So if you say Palgin Diburoi, because I'm retracting from the Kiyum, so I cut the retracting, and I have a Kiyum. But if really now, when I say Ksav Yadeinu, it's a new Eidus. It's not only Eidus about them, it's a new Eidus.
But they are pasul. They are pasul.
And I'm not fighting, I'm not tzaddik. So it's not shaykh to say that part of my eidus palgin dibur.
They are taking power.
Do abeis eidus emo. Ve'en kan paslus bekiyum. There's no paslus bekiyum. There's no beteil of zuk sheiro.
They are taking power of the star. They are taking power from the star. Because they start fast.
The star is not finished, and now I'm saying a new eidus, and now they're saying 2 eidus. They say Ksav Yadeinu, and they say Anusi. If now it's a new eidus, they're really saying now 2 things. It's not Ksav Yadeinu cut, and Anusi I don't hear Palgin Dibur, because it's about them. Rather now it's a new eidus. So now I can speak a new eidus, because the star is Cheres. Right now I can say 2 eidus. 5 eidus, talking to I can say many eidus I want, because I'm now starting, kind of. So since now I'm starting, I'm saying Ksav Yadeinu, and I say Anusi Machmas Momoy, I'm really saying 2 eidus.
So then it's going to be Azome.
So it's not Palgin Diburoi, it's not a Palgin of the Dibur, though Bein Eidus Emo, Ven Kan Pasus Bekiu, Vezu Betel Vezu Ksheira. So therefore I say, when I Mekayim Ksav Yadeinu, this eidus I accept. And the second eidus that I said, Anusi Machmas Momoin, when I'm a Rosh, I'm not accepting. I let it eidus shepot le'mitzvah v'chulo. Umay delamin eidus shepot le'mikzoso. You will be again. That what? Why I don't say eidus shepot le'mikzoso bot le'chulo here?
2 eidus, no problem. 2
But it's not 2 eidus. It's like 2 eidus.
It's 2. Tachim beri 2.
The choizer umagid. Umay delamin eidus shepot le'mikzoso b'kiv again. The choizer umagid. Ein ze eidus. Like Dibur he took all the he said, until now he said, it's eidus and I have 2 eidus. And one is kosher and one is possible. I have a problem with eidus sheponos akula. In the deen of eidus sheponos was not mamish eidus. It's Dibur b'al. V'ayim b'shitim kubetz v'shem Ramban tiv tzavei spirushi. Iyum mishupagin Dibur, when I retract from my kiyum, or the 3 milei heima. What's 3 milei? וזהו ביאור דבר הקדוש. דיני כשהרמב"ן דמיקם ולא נאמן על דיבור עדה נושאים היינו מחמס מומרי because it's a רושו אם כן לא יהיה נאמן על כסב יודעינו that was a kasha. What do you have to comment that אין כסב יודון כן לא יהיה נאמן על כסב יודעינו if it's a רושו על כן כוסב. So how can I collect? Omar says the Mishnah that I collect is Anusi Machmas Nefoshes. But Anusi Machmas Momoin, I could collect. Why? If I'm Anusi Machmas Momoin, I'm also Rosh and I don't believe Al Ksav Yadeinu too. Says no. One answer, Al Ken Kosav Du Midin Pagin Dibur. Venim Sedin Pagin Dibur all day base funny, all day psul. Or alidei chesoron le'emonus b'ikar eidus.
What's psul mean?
Psul means because I'm making myself a rosh. Or the chesoron le'emonus b'ikar eidus. Yes. No, this is shitim kubetzes. A Ramban. V'shuv kosav da'ochel tzichin ledin palgin libur the 3 milleninu. He says since there are 2 eidus, I don't have to comment on palgin libur. One I accept, one I don't. I have to say it's not. He wants to say because it's not a real eidus. Kivegel says not a real eidus. So I can say 3 million. V'lo yidomi leploini, I just want to wrap it up then we'll talk. V'lo yidomi leploini ravan lirtzoini du naise chad agodo. אבל לא כן לעבר רק 3 מילים. ונמצא דשני הפירוש הנשיא וזכת השלוימוי, הוא גם כן ברמב"ן ביתר ביור, שני הפשוטים, בתירוץ התויספס. Now he's going to go over it again. So what is he saying? He's saying, yes, I'm going to answer you. What do you want to say?
No, I wanted to ask, what about the Din Azomo, according to those that would say.
Now we're going to go back to it. He wanted to say there is a din azom on it. According to the side, there's din eidus. There's din azom. What?
Not according to the first start of Palgin and Dibura.
Not Palgin Dibur. According to the Pshat, there's eidus. This eidus will have din azom aloisayim. And here he wants to say no. Even according to Rambam Choma, that in the Mishnah Ne'emonim they say Yanusim Machmas Nefoshes. That's why he ripped the shop. But because it's eidus. But when they say Yanusim Machmas Momoin, so then what happens? There's like two eidus, and when I say what I don't accept, I should use the eidus shebotlo. So I don't have eidus shebotlo because it's dibu be'alma. And the eidus are dibu be'alma. So on one hand he says there's eidus shebotlo on it. And there's no Eidus Shabbat because not Eidus, it's talking about Alma. Now then he says later on, it has a din Azom on it. And it has a Loi sign on it. There's an extra explanation. And then he explains it again. Let's see what he says here in the left column on the top. Yes, who's speaking? Yes, what?
Man cannot say issues are not right. You cannot say he's a raj.
Right.
You don't believe him because he's
right. Very good. So now that he's a Rosho, his first statement, Ksav Yadeinu, you accept or you don't accept? The Mishnah says, Anusi Machmas Nefoshes, you believe them and you rip the shah. Anusi Machmas Momo in the Kotram Barchom in the Mishnah. They are not believing you collect with a star. How? Opagin Dibur. Or it's two Eidus. If it's not Eidus, it's Pagin Dibur. But I'm just retracting from my key, it's Pagin Dibur. And if it's Eidus, there's two Eidus, like 2 mile, and I don't have Eidus Shabbat because now I'm Eidus is Dvorim Ba'al. Those are the words. I don't understand it fully. And then now he's going to revert it again.
If you say Dvorim Ba'al here,
right? If it has a din of Azom or Isaime, so it should have din of Eidus Shabbat. And what kind of thing is Dvorim Dibu Ba'al? What does that mean? So now he reviews it again. Biu, he says, V'yeter biu b'shnei apshotim b'duz atesis. Oi, he says, now he goes over again. Second line and left column and from the top. Oi, Rav Yaakov, you have the papers or are you listening by heart? Oi, the Mikei and the Kolzman from Niskai Mashta. As long as the star is not established, when the star is not established, you can say there's Mezuyov. The Chashivo Eidus Gmuro, the Koiri Moisoi, Arei the Guba Star Gam Ken Star Mitzad Atzmoy, Kolzman from Niskayim, Ochenami and the Star Choshuv Star Gam Yan Psul Eidus. The Neumann and Sade, because Matro is Kai, because we're in Haspo. Al Ken Tocheri Dibu, the Moisi was a star, the Evadim Gubash a star, Hashuva Godo. So, according to this, is Hashuva Godo, so why by Nusimach Masmomoin you collect with a star? Because we say Palginan of the Eidus, one Eidus I accept, one is two Eidus, one I don't, because now Mamish Eidus is Dvorim Ba'al. He said it is Eidus. He's saying, talking was Oisi was on the Shtav, and Ma'im was on the Shtav, Hashuv Agodo. Oloi, the Ashtam Mitzad Atzmo Inu Mechoin Lepoisloi. But the Choshkem and Akiro, the Guv Akiru, the Ksav Yadeinu, the Moshe Chosun and Guv Eidusonu, the Inu Aboin Lekayim, Otzirin Laidu Beksuzo. Those are the two Tzdodim.
What is the two Tzdodim? It is 8 words, really?
Well, now when they say Ksav Yadeinu, what is it? Is it really the star is 0? And the Eidus, and now as a din Eidus, and therefore they say Ksav Yadeinu v'anusim machmas nefoshes, and therefore you believe in Reb L'Shtar. It's one long Eidus. Or no, the star is something created on Sadeh. But now when they speak with the Rabbanon, they say Ksav Yadeinu, they retract from the Kiyum by saying Anusim. So they're not fighting the star, they're retracting the Kiyum. They're not fighting the star, they're tracking the kiyum. Going to the first side, they're fighting the star because the Eidus star was not finished, so therefore makes them now Eidus. And when they say Eidus, they have Chod Agoda by saying Ksav Yadeinu Tochei Dibur Anusim. So that's one Agoda, and therefore they believe Anusim Machmas Nefoshes. But what I want to say Anusim Machmas Moed? So then what? So then he collect with a star. Pagin Dibur, but he can't say Dibur is one Eidus. Pagin Dibur, if it's not an Eidus. But if it is Eidus, so you have to say 3 mila ninu. Why 3 mila as Eidus Shabbatla? Because the Dibur Ba'al, we just said as I noticed. He's saying in the same mouth two opposite statements. Not only that, in Chav Zayin he said that as a din asomo and as a din lo yisayne and as a din trishon chakira. It's mamish Eidus. It says Eidus. So why do you not Eidus Shabbat by Nusi Machmas Momoy? And we say no, you throw it out and you collect with the stuff. Very hard. He needs explanation. He says the words. There's a contradicting in the words. What he's saying.
According to the Tita Pekumechen in the next Siman Kaf Bab, he said that you can go to the man in Dr. Dibur because it's a loche. You can say I write this, but I lose it. Like you can say yes but no. Because the law permits you to say yes or no.
Yeah, it's okay, great, good. But that's if he's saying, one second, no momento. That's when I say Anusi Machmas Nefoshet.
We believe that.
We believe. But we say Anusi Machmas Momoy.
Okay, you make a Pagina and they are going.
No. Pagina is only one shot. Pagina, if it's not a Din Eidus. But if it's Din Eidus, how can you say Pagina?
But they are not going to the star, they are going to the queue. They are not fighting with the star, they are fighting with the queue. As they are saying, we write this, but I lose it with the Chaskat Mammon. As they are not fighting with the star, they are fighting with the queue. I think that I will understand. They are making a queue. They are not fighting with the star when they say the Chaskat Mammon.
Let's continue on. I don't know the answer yet. Yes, sir.
Rabbi Yitzchak, do you need kavana when you speak as in terms of edus, or it's a mamela whenever you talk it's called edus?
There are no stars here. We don't have any stars.
In terms of the Beis Din's evaluation of what they hear. Is it totally that when the people speak that everything is edus, or it's totally the kavanah?
When the person speaks in Beis Din, so then it's a ma'isa of speaking, and therefore the kavanah is included according to the interpretation of people of talking. I don't care what he has in his head. Stom is kavanah.
Because one's a mamela. If it's edus, it's one thing. If it's not, it's a mamela.
I want to read the last paragraph, guys. Rabbi Yosef. Whistling, Mashiach will bring. What? Yeah, so open air conditioning.
Why can we say, why cannot we say that when it's angels,
yes.
When he says it's a God, the second part, is
yes.
That go from something in the past. The first part, Tab Yadeinu. Now
yes.
they are watching the tab, and they say Tab Yadeinu. The Eidus Muru.
Yes.
The other part that they say, but Anusi Mainu Tani is not now from this Eidus that I'm saying. It's like Eidus, but it's a God from something in the past. So it means Eidus a God.
Well, I think that's what he says in the Yeter. Let's see what he says in the Yeter Biu. I'm not 100% up, but let's see. He does speak about it in the last paragraph, so that's why I want to read it inside.
Also, when they say we don't have a star because the star don't have you. As when they say we write this, they are making a kiyum.
Right.
Then okay, you make a kiyum and then you retract. But this is forbidden for the Shita Mekuetze.
Yes, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
This, according to this pshat, it is a problem. Not a problem. Because the retracting part, it's okay. When Anusi Machmas Nefoshois is okay. We say Pagin Dibur. The problem we had on the second side. According to the second side, the shtar is not finished, and now I'm giving an Eidus. And therefore, I'm saying one Eidus, one, the Shavadenu. Second Eidus, we are Anusim.
Yeah.
So, Anusim is cancelled. Because the Anusim Machmas Momoy, the meanings of Reshoim. So why don't say me from the law of Eidus Shabbat Mitzvah Kula, there's a rule. part of testimony that if you give a testimony in court, part is canceled, the whole thing is canceled. So what do we have to say? When we have that is one edus, one subject. But when it's two edus, 2 mile, 3 mile is not. What do you mean 3 mile? But here it's about one star. It's 2 mile on one star. We should say edus shabbatlo. He says, no, I don't have edus shabbatlo, and it's 2 mile because it's dibu ba'alma. What does it mean? This words we need to explain. So let's see what he says in the last paragraph.
It's like this dibu ba'alma is like prateya edus, but it's not the edus, not the edus, it's prateya edus.
I like that. It's really edus. And therefore, but the din of edus shabbatlo, if the prota edus is dibu, so then it's not. You said a lot of nice words. I don't understand what you're saying. Beyeter biu.
I can say pshat.
It makes sense what he said. If I would be the Kasmon, I would say to accept it. If I would say it, that's what
You say gilu means gilu milse.
Okay.
You see, because what is
Reb Shleim, I don't know. I'm eager to see the last paragraph. And when we finish that, then I will be relaxed to think outside to give a solution. Because I think he himself gives a solution. In the last paragraph in Café. Beyeser biu. Baruch atah Adonai. Yoshua, we have 3 machines here. Only 2 works?
No, they work.
So why the third one's not working?
Because if I try to turn one on, I shut the other 2 off at the same time.
I can try.
Okay, good. Maybe it's enough. It's better to have 2 than 1. Okay, leave it. Okay. You have to be close to it. It's not worth the time. Come on. Okay, 2 is good. 3 got open. Very good. Succeed. But yes, now we're reading the last paragraph, Mendel. Eliyahu. Last thing. So we have here Yaakov, Rachamim, Yosef, Yecheskel, Alexander. Can't see who's there. Sitting there. I don't know if Dan is listening. And you have Eliyahu. You listening, Dan? What's going on?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Made me happy. And Mendy. Good. Now he says, I'm going to go in a deeper, more explanation to explain the 2 answers. Or that believed in the Monus Be'almo Midina Peshosa. That's easy. It's not really, testimony is finito. And only believe, they say, Anusim is a Peshosa. Because when they say Xadadenu, boom, it's about then, and the Eidus is then finished, and then he cannot speak anymore, it's only a Peshosa. Base, number 2, כמו שקוסו בשיטים קובצס. דלת תקון הסכחומי על כמו שחידוסה. תקון הסכחומי makes the star 0. knocks out the nechkero. It's not an Eidus anymore. ועל כן האמונים באידוסון, the kul אחד האגודו, they believe in what is Exadadenu, because the Eidus star is not finished, continues, and now they continue on saying, Anusim, it's one אחד האגודו, ועל פי דברי Akohen, Rabbeinu, Shloime Iger, Nir Lazarus or say, let's explain the Svoras. Din boy from Echod, go to one side, Umidin Eidus. That's the second side. It's Din Eidus.
Lamali.
Oh, boy from Echod, the Midin Eidus, Lamali? The Midin Eidus hu Leisle. That's the opposite. Saying the first side is not Eidus. The Neide Kolzman Shelo Idu Leksav Yodam hu Loichoshiv Shtar. True that when Chachomim said, as long as you don't say it's our handwriting, is not Shtar. Mikol Mokem, however, Ato now, Sheidu Leksav Yodam, when they say it's our handwriting, Kvar Nigmar Eidus Shel Shtar. The Eidus Shtar has been finished then. The Ave Ato, right now, now, it's like finished the time of speech.
It's not a chosur magid. We believe that.
Why? Because when I say Ksavyodeinu, it's about then. So my word Ksavyodeinu flies back to the time of the shtar. And now I continue, there's no continuation of talking about Eidus, because it's not Eidus now, it's Eidus about then. The Madamani talking Dibu with the Choshev Chava Agoda. Talking Dibu is when Choshev Agoda, one Agoda. Here they already testified then when I wrote the shtar. The Eidus of Eidim Ato in the testimony they're saying now, of Eidus Chadosho, it is a new testimony. The Einze Kemo Talking Dibu. It's not Tochelimu. Now when they say Anusim, it's a new Eidus. So it's not Tochelimu about then. When I say Ksavyodeinu, boom, the Eidus then is finished. When I say Anusim, it's Eidus now. Eidus now, to attach to Eidus then, there's no Tochelimu. You cannot attach it. Wow. And at the in the bottom line, they all believe from a different reason. The only Nemonus is Migu. Okay, that's good.
So if they wanted to invalidate, they should have just stayed silent. But
yes.
They should have just stayed silent.
So when they say Ksavyodeinu, the Anusimach Mas Lefosh, it's a Migu. Anusimach Mas Momo, the window finished. The Nei, truly the Bedin Eidus Lo Choshuv Kedibur Echad. True in the laws of Eidus now one Dibur. Aval Mikol Mokom Anyhow Mehani Nemunusam, the Nemunus is there. The Adainu Iskaya is still not established. As far as Eidus is not one Dibur. But the Nemunus helps because the Shtar is not Mekuyot. Ve'einom kechoizu magidim be'alma. It's not a choizu magid be'alma. Therefore, they're not choizu magid. Why? Oh, now we have a problem. According to the side that it's Eidus about then, and then I cannot speak anymore. So why Migo should work? Because Migo gets the shtar. So he says no. Even though they don't have the power of Eidim anymore. Mikol Mokem, however, Gam Nemonim Lachzo, they're believed to retract. Midin Migo. Yosef is a double language. He's saying, even according to the side that the shtar is finished, and it's not Eidus now, so if it's not Eidus, and there's no Choyzok Magin on it, so how can Migo works against the shtar? He says no. Even though they're not considered even though they're not considered Eidim, Mikol Mokem, however, Gam Ne'emonim, they believe Lachzo, they can believe to retract Midin Migo. Ve'i the Chashiva Migo neged Hashtar. It's already finished. So it's a Migo and Shtar. What do we have? Each side it's a bump. To say that the Shtar is finished, and when say Ksavyodeinu, it's about then. And when say Anusim, it's not Tochelimu because two Eidus is about then, and it's not Tochelimu. And now Anusim is a new Eidus. A new Eidus would then he cannot attach together. So therefore, the only way you believe is Migu. But if it's Migu, if Ksavyodeinu is about then and the Shtar is finished, so how can Migu believe against the Shtar? Migu against the Shtar and not believe? Says no.
As Amigo is not neged the Shtar, it's neged Eidim.
No, it's against the Shtar. Mikol Mokoim Ne'emonim Lachzer Midi Migu V'Hide Chashiva Migu Neged Shtar or Adayin Ein Kan Shtar. The moment they made the kiyum, that moment they shoved in a Migo. If there was a shtar, then they saying a Migo or a Peshosa, they cannot. But when the shtar is not finished, because you need my Eidus Ksaviyodi about then, right now I'm completing the Eidus about then. And right now, when I'm getting Eidus about then, right now I'm saying a Migo and a Peshosa. So it's coming with Vasachas, so it's not considered finding a shtar, and therefore the Migo helps.
But let me say that this is like an anti-Q because you can. First of all, we have Shlomo Eger that they say it's not the Chosur Magid because we believe the second part of the Migo, but that Migo is not neged the shtar, it's neged Eidus.
No, it is against the shtar, but it's not a shtar gamur. Because right now it's still not a shtar.
In this paragraph say that here that Migo.
I don't see from far.
In this paragraph they say in the continue they say that the Migo no es not neged the star, it's neged the Eidus in this part. But we are in the other. We are in the other page. Perhaps I go further.
What is this guy? Who said that?
That's what he says here. It's not against because right now I need to make it a star. And right now I'm saying amigo.
What is this raya? What is raya? What is raya says? He needs a raya.
No raya. He gives an explanation. It's not raya. It's now theories. It's teasers. It's not rayas. It's solutions.
But I can tell you,
No raya. Solutions.
Rashi gets.
We don't care about Rashi. As long as the solution works. We won't explain shitas here. There's a big difference. We're not here talking about hechech. We're talking about possibilities. Explain the shira on possibility. Right, Rabbi? והשיטה מקובצת סויבה. אם רק מדין עדים לא חשיב, if they're not considered עדוס, אז גם אמיגו לייקו. זה רק חשיב עדים ממש. It's considered עדוס. עדיין לא נגמר עדוס עד אחר כך עדים ומגיעים אותו. So he's saying now, he revealed in this piece this new subject, this new idea. He's saying the second pshat, or whatever the pshat is, that it's edus, is edus. What does that mean? They're not arguing on the first pshat. They agree. They're not arguing. They don't hold like the first Chom Bar. The first Chom Bar, we said, holds that the edus Rishtar is still alive. And now when I say Ksavedenu is the Eidus now, and they say Anusim is the Eidus now, so I have to say Pagin Diburo, by Momo, we have to say two Eidus. Now we're saying a whole different Pshat. We're saying that this is the first Chom Bar. The second Chom Bar of Rove that says that the Shtar, there is Choyz Umagi by Shtar too, not only by Eidus Valpeh. So they hold really that once Chachomim made, this is the punchline here of the whole piece. Once Chachomim made that the Shtar needs Kiyum, which means the Nechtel Oidusha Shabishtar is not finished with the Rabbonon, that's where it comes Chav Zayin. Once with the Rabbonon, so we mean it's Eidus with the Rabbonon. So we mean it's Eidus again. The first Rambam Arishon that holds that Shtar is not Eidus Balpen, it continues, there's no Choyzer Magid. So he has a problem. Eidus Mo Nefosho, Eidus Makmas Momoin, it should be out. It's a problem of Risha, but it's not a problem of the Eidus. So you have to say, and why you collect? Because they put Opagin Diburo, two Eidus, because Dibu Baum, you have to say half words, I don't know what it is. But now we say a little bit of Emes. The second one about Choma, that by a Shtar, there is Eidus Shabbat, Choyzo Maki, just Chachomim say you need Kiyum, now we're Chakira. Now Chachom said Kiyum, you have a Chakir, what Kiyum they need? Means what? That really now when they say Ksav Yodenu is about them. And when I continue and speak, and I say Anusim, there's not Tokei Dibu, because when I say Ksav Yodenu, flies for there, at the time I wrote the Shtar. When I say Anusim, it's now Eidus. So there's no Tokei Dibu, there's no connection. So there's no Eidus in it. It's only Din Migu. If the Shtar is finished, flew them, and I'm talking now something new. So it's against the Shtar? No. But right now, when I say Ksav Yodenu, the Shtar was needed to become in the same Tokei Dibu. I said Anusim. So although Tokei Dibu is not Din Tokei Dibu that gives a Din Eidus, but it's Tokei Dibu that the Shtar is not yet a Shtar that I'm fighting a Shtar. This is the Pshat, the first Pshat, that I'm retracting from the Kiyum. But if it flies Tokei Dibu, if there's no Tokei Dibu in Eidus, and when I say Ksav Yodenu, it flies to them, to the time of the Shtar. When I say Anusi Machmas Momoin, in the same token, Anusi Machmas Momoin, I'm retracting from the Kiyum. What's the Pshat retracting from the Kiyum? Because there's no Eidus, there's no Tokei Dibu, because it's then and now. But it is Tokei Dibu that the then is not completed. When before the time was completed, I shoved in a migu. So it's not considered finding a shtar. This is the first shtar that I can retract, and as a din of migu or pesha osad, it's not considered finding a shtar. But the kiddush of the last piece is that the other pshitim kobes, the other opinion, that holds fighting the star is 0, and I'm fighting Aksaviodi, means it's Eidus now. It's also Eidus about him. He says now again, I'm reading the last 4 lines. Vashidim kubetze soiver, the imrak midin eidi, lo choshive os gamigu. Lo choshive, the imrak midin eidi, lo choshive as gamigu later. If the eidus is not an eidus, so migu is out. If the eidus is about them, and there's no talking edible to say eidus now, to continue the eidus, if I knock at the eidus, also the migu cannot shove in, and it's a migu can stop. He says, I don't hold that peace that really, when I say Ksaviyotenu is about them, and when I say Anusim is no continuation of eidus, but it is a continuation that the star is not established yet to make a migu and not finding a star. He says, if it's not eidus, also the migu cannot come in, because I'm finding a star. What is it? Verak, the Chashive Eidi Mamish. It is Eidus. The Adain lo nigmar Eidus ad haker Eidibu. Don't get him at all. So the other Pshat learns, no, the Eidus continues. I don't say, it's like the first one Bachom. This Pshat, the second Pshat learns like the first one Bachom. Like. That the first one Bachom says that the Eidus is not finished, because Shtar is not a complete Eidus, no din choizo magre Eidus and Shtar at all. The second Pshat learner says Midoraisa it is a complete Eidus. But since Chachomim required Kiyum, so not only Mezuyov, the Shtar is Isra is weak, and therefore the Eidus are not finished. So therefore when I see Ksaviyotenu, it's now Eidus Miderabonon, because the Shtar is finished then. Chachom say the Shtar is weak. So right now when I speak, I don't send it to there. I say right now is Eidus, and right now is Eidus. Then I can I can continue and speak, and I say Anusim Achmas Nefoshois.
It is Pshat in Rashi, Chadagodin.
Chadagodo, and therefore it's Eidus against the Shtar, and that's why I rip the Shtar. That's when I say Anusim Machmas Nefoshois. When Anusim Machmas Momoin. No, now there's one goes on the first Chomachom. Here in the second Chomachom, Anusim Machmas Nefoshois I believe because it's a new Agodo, and the Tocher Dibur I say Ksaviyotenu, Anusim, and therefore I believe Mitzad the Eidus against that I rip the Shtar, and Anusim Machmas Nefoshois. What do I say? Anusim Machmas Mamoin, a person is a Rosha. And when he's a Rosha, what do? You don't believe Anusim Machmas Mamoin. So what I do? Or if I'm retracting from the Kiyum, if the whole point is I'm retracting from the Kiyum by Anusim Machmas Nefoshois, so Anusim Machmas Moment I don't hear the retracting, and I have a Kiyum, and therefore I collect from the Shtar. And if it's one Eidus, and in one Eidus I'm saying a Rosh Hashanah myself, so the whole Eidus is throwing out, so I don't have a Kiyum, but I don't rip the Shtar, I don't collect from the Shtar. So it will be a nafkamina. Anusim Machmas Momoin, what do I do? If the whole point Anusim Machmas was I'm retracting from the Kiyum, because not Eidus, Eidus is then, Ksaviyotenu is about then, and now it's only a Migu. So when the Migu Napesh Osa, when I'm saying Anusim Machmas Momoin, Anusim Machmas Nefoshois, so it's a Migu, but it's not Eidus. And it's not against the Shtar, it's not finished. But if I'm making myself a Rashoim, when I say Ksaviyotenu Anusim Machmas Momoin, I don't listen to what? It was never an Eidus. I don't listen to the Migu. It destroys the Migu somehow. If they're Rashoim, it destroys the Migu.
The Migu was never created. It's never formed. You can't hear the Eidus.
What?
If you can't hear the Eidus, the Migu was never formed.
You can't hear the Eidus, but Migo never formed. Why Migo never formed? Because I 6-7 Deinu Anusim Machmas Mamon. So I have a Migo. Even though I'm a Rosho, I have a Migo. The first shot was, the first Ramachon we said that there's no problem of Eidus. So then Anusim Machmas Mamon se Pagin Dibura or Treinile. But according to the second Ramachon, then it goes on the Reisha, Anusim Machmas Mamon. Anusim Machmas Mamon, I ripped the shot. Or because, depends. Retracting from the kiyum, I don't rip. And if it's Eidus, I rip. Now, Anusim Machmas Mamon, that I don't believe them. So then what? I collect with a shot. So if I'm retracting from the kiyum, so then there's no kiyum. The kiyum is theirs, and I collect with it. But if I don't believe that we retract, and if it's not retracting, rather Eidus, so there's no Eidus here. So there should be Eidus Shabbat Lamezor. The whole Eidus should be canceled. So immediately I have a shtar without a kiyum. That would be the shtar. So according to both, the kiyum is according to the first shot. That I retract over the kiyum, I cannot retract, so maybe it will be a kiyum when you collect with it. Anusim Machmas Mamon and the Reisha. And I believe you will collect. Or if Anusim Machmas Mamon, it's one Eidus, and Eidus Shabbat Lamezor, also the Ksav Yodenu's bottle. So then you have a shtar without a kiyum. You don't rip it, you don't collect. What? Lama. Kiva said it by the first Ramachon. You would say it also by the Maskon. I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. That's something that has to be clarified. Yes.
The Mammon, the Machmas Mammon, Anis Machmas Mammon, is also over on the fine line between also sometimes a loss of money. The guy knows he's going to die.
Yes.
Then there is some places. Also, it's transforming.
This could be what?
It's transforming the thing in the
Why? I don't understand what the two different claims.
No.
I don't see what he's saying.
I was going to ask the question because essentially, there's a rule in Chazal that a person, a knee is considered like kemet.
Right.
So, is there actual difference between how severe Machamat Mamon case really is? So if, I don't know, a person is going to lose everything, and he doesn't know what to do with his family or whatever. That's Kim, like, if he's not going to, I don't know. It's like, it's Machamat.
Maybe. But normal money is not nefoshes. Nefosha is, you're allowed to do it. Moment you're a Rosha. What kind of moment are you not a Rosha? I don't know. Maybe some moment is not a Rosha.
The second time he brought up a Foshim, if there's a lot of money, he won't want them a Foshim.
I don't remember.
If there's a lot of money, it's not a Rosh. Small money is a Rosh.
What's the difference a lot of small?
No,
Because he said it'll be like a met, like a dead. Well, maybe.
I saw that some people talk about it.
Okay, good.
Could
be. I don't know.
In the next paragraph, in Kampar,
Yes.
according to Ham Levi, they are making an anti-kiyum because it's not for the Migo that we believe them. Apeshiasar, we don't believe them because we don't have kiyum. He said. In the next paragraph,
He explains Reb Chaim explaining Reb Chaim Alevi.
Simon Kampar, Ham Levi say that
That's Chesoron Kiyum and it's Eidus. Ksiva B'alma. It's not a Shazir B'alma.
It's not for the Migo that we are not believe them. We don't believe them because we don't have we don't have kiyumas because that we are not believe them.
So if the shtar turns to a piece of paper, and therefore shtar is not Eidus, the Amira is not against the shtar.
And also for the Chita Mekubet,
it's a stronger way to say. Instead of saying, you're right, so here in Chavav he's saying different than Chaveh. Chaveh he said it's really a shtar. And there is a problem of Choizer Umagi, but really it's about them. When I say accept them, it goes to them. And then there's no Eidus just to me, but why me was not against the shtar? Because it's right now at the same time. But in Chavav, he's not saying the same time. He says, since Chacham gave me the power to do kiyum, so it's not a shtar, it's Ksiva B'alma. So therefore, Chacham gave me the power to say Ksiva Deinu, to Mekayim it. And they can say also it's not a kiyum, it's not a shtar, it's all part of my hand. So the Migo is saying it's not a star. So therefore it's not against the star. That's in Chovot.
In the other paragraph, שיטה, שהוא אומר it's not Migo versus star, because we don't have a star, because the star don't have Q, as Anusim Ainu is don't work. As is not a Migo negative star, it's Migo versus AD.
Okay, that's what he says in Chavov. That's a Chaim Alevi. Okay.
So how do we escape from the blunder?
Let's go back and draw the map. Make a summary.
Where Rabbi Yitzchak.
Yes.
Rabbi Yitzchak.
Yes, Rabbi Feish.
I see the whole thing is totally on Anan Sahadi, because Anan Sahadi means the Bastin's evaluation, and their evaluation is totally in their dots, how they look at each thing and how they monitor it. So there could be arguments. How are they monitoring each piece, in which they have options, and it's up to them.
For a second,
in terms of Anan Sahadi.
What do you want to say? You want to ask a kasha? You want to say your answer? What do you want to say?
I want to add Hezbeer on all the opinions in general. The Hezbeer is that the whole thing is totally in Anan Sahadi, because Anan Sahadi means the Bastin is making an evaluation of all the things they hear, how they magdir what was said, or it's all up to the Bastin to decide how to magdir what they're hearing. The whole thing, all the arguments could be totally in that, and how you magdir the Anan Sahadi. That could be the basis of all the arguments.
I don't really get what you said.
Anan Sahadi is the Bastin's system of how they decide how to magdir each thing that the people said. It's up to the Bastin to decide. They call it Adis, or they call it Dibra Am. It's up to the Bastin to decide how they decide.
Okay, so you're saying it's easier to say this or that way because then the Shain Lagdor. Okay, I got what you said. So let's summarize what we had, guys. Make a summarization. Let's make a summary. Summary. What? What do you want to say? What do you want to say? Tell me. No. What's your goal? Not the talk. What do you want to say? About what? You want to make a summary?
No. The problem that we have that all the sugya we see the explanation of Tosfot and Rashi and all the Shita Bekupester about the Migo, but the focus is not the Migo. Here, this sugya is not about the Migo. It's about the Q. The star, the Q of the star.
Correct.
As we have all the focus was about the Migo. Is the Migo this, Eidu Shah, but the focus is not in the Migo, it's in the Q.
So if the star is not a star, because we need a Kiyum, which is the Eidim, Mixiva Ba'alma, so the Migo works.
Yeah.
Or because of Vasachas, or because it's just a Ksav not a star, and it's just a Chofo. But if we're going to say that a star is a complete star, but if we're going to say that the star is not a complete star, it's zero. It's not even Ksiv and Eidim. It's zero, it's Chaspo. So now you have a Din Eidus. So then you can continue to say, it's one long Eidus. Therefore you believe and you rip the star. The only thing is we had an understanding how I define Anusi Machmas Momoin. If it's one long Eidus. Ksav Yodeinu Anusi Machmas Momoin. So you have to say, it's no longer Eidus and you have Eidus Shabbatla, or the whole thing is Botel. And therefore I don't accept nothing. I don't say, and it's nothing. I don't even have a Peshosa.
There's no Q.
That was the question 3-4 weeks ago that you said is the kasha of the Aflo, right? And somehow we have to say, we throw everything out. The Beis doesn't accept when I say Anusi Machmas Nefoshes, according to the Maskono, the second rov is that you don't even hear, the Beis doesn't hear nothing and you don't even have a Migo and a Peshosa. That's what you have to say. Okay, doesn't matter if it's only a Migo or if it's one long Eidus. But so it's one long Eidus, I throw the Eidus, but I still have a Migo. So you have to say the Migo also falls off. Everything falls off. Not Peshos, not Migo. According to the second Baruch.
You did it basically.
When I say Nusi Machmas Nefosho is he of a Hakira. I don't know if they're money, in what way they're money. We're wanting to retract from the Kiyum, or they're wanting to fight the star and rip the star. That's the whole Hakiri. Okay. This is really what's going on here. We'll continue on. We're going to have a Musa Shmuz in a second. We want to continue on the sugya of Amona. This requires a lot of learning inside. Amona, Moido, and Tanai. Okay? There is two toises in that we have to learn. And Daf Yutet Amud Beis is Omar Avnachim and Oy Dilma Tanai. And also, and there's a lot of Rishonim. In the print give the Slavot Kashit, there's a lot of Rishonim. There's Rabbeinu Yoina here, there's Rambams, and we're going to learn Shitas HaRambam, and there's on this is Shach and Ktsois. There's some meat to talk about. You have to learn. You have to do the learning the Gemara Rashi Tais as well with the Rishonim. Okay. Yutet Amud Beis. Okay. It starts from Yutet Amud Aleph. And by the words Omar Avidu Marav, Oimer Shtar Amono Hu Zeino Nema, goes on, going on, Tulamud Beis, Tulton Rabon. You have to almost learn an Omud and a half. And the main choices you have to focus is on Amud Beis, Omar Avnachman or Oidilma. It's in the papers, I have the papers, so maybe you have to print it and send it to Meitzah and all those places. And the papers, okay. Now we have to focus. It's really a continuation of what we learned. And the Shaila is the whole Gemara Amud Beis is according to Rabbi Meir or Rav Nachman. Rabbi Meir or Rabbanon. And Toysus wants to put the two things together. He wants to pursue the Sugi we learned for the last 3-4 weeks. Together with this, he wants to say that Rav Nachman follows Chachom, not Rabbi Meir. And Moide B'shtar Shekosvoy, En Tzor Lekam. Tzor Lekam, that we had a whole Shaila, what's the Machlekes. He spoke about it in Shavuos, right? In the whole week. What is the Machlekes with Rabbi Meir and Chachomim? You have the Even Ozel, you have the Birkas Shmuel, reference to Rabbi Meir, it's in Chaf A, Sivkot and Gimel. The Birkas Shmuel wants to explain what to Rabbi Meir and Chachomim. It's really that part, but I'm not going to focus, I'm not going to get us what we did on Shavuos, those are not here. I want to focus more on the differences between Moido, Amona, and Tnai, reference to Rabbi Meir and reference to Chachomim.
Yerushalmi also say here.
Yerushalmi too. There's a lot to talk about. The differences is we have 3 categories. Anusim Psulim V'Ktanim. I mean 4. Anusim Psulim Ktanim, Moido and Amona, Porano and Tanai. I mean, this is already 5 I got. 5 or 6 different thick boxes. We have to define each one in one. Because it's a lot of physical work to make the boxes and understand what's going on. Okay? We'll do it. I'm going to spend on it just 1 week. 1 week. 1 week, and then we're going to start with Avchov. This is somebody write his Eidus on the shtab. Okay? It's Musa Shmuz. And the reason I want to spend only 1 week, even though you can spend 2-3 weeks on it, because it's one long sugya. It's all intertwined. So I don't want people get tired and they will get tired of it. So we'll push 1 more week to do it complete and shine it and polish it, and then we'll finish. The Siyata Dishmai. So I want to talk about the parsha, something very strange in our parsha. Needs a lot of explanation. So I want to explain my explanation as I did it. I said it many years. I want to explain it today in a little bit deeper sense. There's a very big kasha on Moshe Rabbeinu. When Moshe Rabbeinu speaks to Hashem about the Jewish people requesting for meat, Moshe Rabbeinu says one of the most vulnerable, weird, I'm allowed to say those words, weird words. How can I allow myself to say so? Because Rabbi Akiva says so. I'm going to read it. He starts talking back and forth with Hashem. And I says, I didn't give birth to this nation. You told me to take them, to carry them. I can't. How can I? He says, how do I have meat to give all this nation? And when they cry to me, give me meat and eat. Can I carry all this nation? It's heavy than me. If you do so to me, kill me. If I find grace in your eyes, don't show me your punishment to the Jews. So Hashem says, gather me 70 elders, that you know them, and they carry the yoke together with you. But then the nation says, prepare yourself for tomorrow, you need meat. And when you cry, oh, you want meat, you remember the good meat of Egypt. You're not going to eat it one day, not 5 days, 10 days, 20 days, 1 month, they're going until come out of your nose. So then Moshe Rabbeinu says, Vayomer Moshe Rabbeinu said, 600,000 ragli ha'am asher anochi b'kir, but there's 600,000 Jews that are fighters. The Oilech Hagim means they're an army state between 20 to 50. You could have said, you're saying you're going to give them meat for 1 month straight. If you're going to sheep and cows, you're going to slaughter them. What's a lamb? You're going to find it. You're going to gather all the fish of the sea. You can find them. What Hashem told them? The hands of Hashem is short. You will see that will happen. What? Moshe Rabbeinu, he saw the 10 plagues. He saw 10 plagues. He saw Kriyas Yamsuf. He saw the Nisim. And he's a Novi. He knows the most of any human being ever about Hashem. The godless, all his powers, and he can do whatever he wants. How can he say it? How is it possible? It's crazy. This is one of the most wondering statements in the whole Chumash, that it's, how can it be that Moshe Rabbeinu said so? And there's an argument between Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Rabbi Akiva says, yes. Everything is the way it sounds. Who can support? Who can bring such a thing to them? So really it's a sin. And he has a shaila, what's strong, what's biggest sin is? When he says Shimon HaMoirim, this one he says both are the same. But Eizu Kosho, Zu Shimon HaMoirim, and Lefi Shalom Berabi, since he didn't say it in public, he say, Hashem hid it. It didn't take revenge. It didn't pay off on them. But Meriva was in public. That's why Hashem didn't stop and wrote it clearly that is sin.
Because it was in public. It was not in public.
It was not in public. It was between him and Hashem. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says not true. It's not possible. It's all Lupsha. It says Chas v'Shalom. Lo hol tzadai shesholoi tzadikach. Not such thing that he has as a thing in mind. So here we have an argument between a Rebbe and a Talmud. Rabbi Akiva says, yes, Kepshuto, what it says here, that's what it says. Rabbi Akiva says, it's not possible, you have to explain it a different way. Rabbi Akiva, okay, we accept Rabbi Akiva, it's an opinion. There's two opinions here. And when Rabbi Shimon says, Chaz v'Sholoi, Rabbi Akiva didn't change his opinion. As Rashi starts, this is one of the 4 things that had a fight. Rabbi Akiva was going one way, and Rabbi Shimon was going another way. And with all the explanation of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Rabbi Akiva says, no. What it says, Kepshuto, this is what it says. Wasn't in public. So the question comes back. But Rabbi Akiva know the question. He had to give an answer to Moshe Rabbeinu. Chas v'Shalom. Lo hol tzadai shel tzadik. Is that possible that a tzaddik had such a thought? Does it make sense? But Rabbi Akiva, Moshe Rabbeinu says, God, what do you mean you give them meat for 30 days? Even you're going to slaughter all the animals, you're going to gather all the fish from the sea, and not going to give them 1 month. I mean, what do you mean? Hashem said, what do you mean, my hand is short? I mean, Moshe Rabbeinu doesn't know that Hashem can do what he wants. He's the Balabait of the world. So here we have the Ibn Ezra. The Ibn Ezra brings down, and the Ramban, they both try to explain this sugya. The Ramban brings these at Ibn Ezra, and he has his own pshat, but none of them really explain it properly. They cannot really give a normal answer here. But let's see. Swan is the best answer. Yes, I know that. I'm going to talk about it. So the Ramban brings down Rabbi Avraham. Ki Moshe yochoyshev shel yechadesh Hashem moifes. Ki im le'atzadik neviot. Moshe Rabbeinu thought that Hashem would not make a new miracle. Only la'atzadik neviot, to justify his prophecy. And that's why he's not going to make a miracle. Not possible. So the Ramban says, "Vegam zeinu nochem beinai." Ki kvar oso imoim bezeh kvaslav harishon. He did that in the first slav, in Shmois, and also in the water in Shmois, in the manna right before here. Ki kulam atrunos is not only for a prophecy of Moshe Rabbeinu to fulfill Moshe Rabbeinu's prophecy or statement. There was miracles and they complained. So you see, Hashem is making miracles and complaining. So why Moshe Rabbeinu understood, according to the Darkei Hashem, Hashem's ways of Hanogas Olam, he only makes miracles on prophecy that he gives Nevi'im to justify the prophecy of Nevi'im, but he doesn't make miracles to fit complaints of the Jewish people. This is not true. I'll show you that he did. What he did Baslav Harishon, and the manna, and the water, all of them have through and the complaints of the Jews. So he wants to say there's 2 types of miracles. Miracles of chesed and miracle of din. Din. What? 100%. But it's not to justify Moshe Rabbeinu, it's to compliment the complaints of the Jews. So Rabbi Avraham even says, he thought he's not going to make a miracle on it. And that's what he says, it's impossible in Al Pi Derech HaTeva. But it's not true. We find many places before this story, the Slav, the Mayim, the man, that he made miracles of the complaints of the Jews. So therefore he says, no. Hashem makes miracles with the chesed, and everything is for the benefit of man. So then he does miracles in order to save the Jewish people. But sometimes the miracles is in angry Hashem. When Hashem is angry, so then the miracles le'ro. Normal miracles ala toiva. But if it comes because of an anger of Hashem, fire comes and kills, or this or that, the miracles happens because Hashem's anger, so then the miracle is not a chesed in a way, it's a way to implement Hashem's anger. Could be toiva shleima or nekomi desadim. So he says, now they're going to eat meat for 30 days. That means until it's going to come out of the mouth. It says, Ad asher yetze ma'apchem. Which means like people complain, they want desires. And I says, okay, I'm going to give you the desires until you're going to be stuck to that desire. You're going to go down to Gehenna with it. That like any other desires, it looks good in the end, this will be bad. So therefore what? So therefore he understood it wouldn't be a miracle. This is the Ramban. I don't know, no. I jumped from the Rabban Rabbeinu B'chaye. Sorry, I made a mistake. He says the Nisim is only complete mercy or complete Nekomi Desadim. But now when he told them that he would give them what they want, Yoda Moshe, that's the punchline. Yoda Moshe Rabbeinu knew Shelo Ye'ois Meis Hashem Livrois Lohem Boso. He knew that Hashem will not make any miracles to create meat like he gave them manna. Because En Tov Otoma Yeyem Hashamayim. this meat is a tummy meat, because Hashem says they will eat the meat till they'll connect to the taiva, until come out of the nose, which means I'll give you a taiva till the end. To give a taiva till the end, he knew such a miracle will not come, because such a miracle it's a miracle of punishment. Therefore, he knew that Hashem will not produce that miracle because end of all Tomei min Hashamayim. So when he says, tell the nation, sanctify yourself for tomorrow, Moshe Rabbeinu understood that it won't be a miracle, and therefore if it's not a miracle, he had to wonder what he's going to do for them. That's what he says. Which means the Ramban is saying, now that Hashem doesn't make miracles for Tlunot, only for justify a prophecy. That's not true. He also, for complaints, he make miracles. Rather, he understood from Hashem's words that won't be a miracle. It says, tell the nation to prepare themselves. And he understood that miracle that Hashem says, and I'll give him the taiva until the connected taiva comes out of the nose, which means it will be connected to the taiva until the end. From there he understood that Hashem is not, because that won't be a miracle. It's just Hashem will allow them to do what they want. This is the Rambam. It's all dochuk. The pshat of the Chizkuni is the best pshat, and also the Rashbam says the same thing. He says, and it means the most makes sense pshat, he says, my understanding. He's saying that Moshe Rabbeinu he says, Ribono Olam, you said that 70 elders will help me to carry the nation. In those words, you basically told me that the 70 nations will help me to feed the meat. If the shaila is to feed the meat, what 70 people will help me to carry to feed the meat? What 70? If it's a miracle, 1 and 70 is the same. If it's not a miracle, and he says 70 people will help you, must be that me and the 70 people who physically will bring this. He said, how can 70 people do it? This is the chizkun. Okay. And I think a whole new pshat.
Again,
Pshat and Rashi knew all that. And Rashi, in the beginning of the whole Maso Maton, Rashi says one word. He brings down twice, 2 places. In 2 places, Rashi says in the beginning what happened here. So Rashi brings down the Chumash and Shmois, when Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu to start with, to go and to take care of the Jewish people. So it says like this. I don't find it here. Oh, maybe here. Okay. Rashi explains that when Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu to take care of the Jewish people, Moshe Rabbeinu didn't want in the snare, in the burning bush. Moshe Rabbeinu didn't want to take the responsibility. He said, I don't want to take the Jewish people. Hashem told him, no, you have to take you have to take the yoke. Oh. So when Moshe Rabbeinu said, listen, I didn't give birth to this nation, I cannot carry them. Rashi brings down, he says, I didn't give birth to them that you can tell me to carry them. Which Mashma Hashem told him to carry them, and he's complaining back to your claim that he told me to carry them, I cannot carry them. So Rashi's searching in all over the Torah where Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu to carry the Jewish nation. So Rashi brings like this. Where did Hashem told him to carry the Jewish nation? Where? In Shmois Lamed Beis Lamed Dalet, Hashem told him, Lech Necheso, that's one place. That's Shmois Lamed Beis. And he says there also, Vayetzavem, it's a different place in Shmois Vov, Vayetzavem al Bnei Israel. He commanded them and the Jewish people. Guys, unbelievable. Al menas sheyusoikli meschem. There is a halacha in Shulchan Aruch that when a person becomes a judge, he has to take responsibility even if they burn his field, even if he puts himself in danger. If you're a judge, you cannot be afraid. If you didn't take the judgment, say, I don't want to take judgment, get out. But if once you do the judgment, you cannot be biased and be bully around from your clients, even to the level that they're mafia and they burn your field, they burn his field and who knows what. You cannot be afraid. Like the Gum Nish, don't be afraid. Here, Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu a commandment. Lech nechesam, go and lead the nation. And he commanded him by Yetzirah. What were he commanded? And at what level he commanded Moshe Rabbeinu to be a leader in the Jewish nation? It's a very powerful Musa Shmuz, guys. Al menat sheyusoikli meschem. Even to the level they throw stones on you and kill you. Umechafli zeschem, and he'll curse you out. Wow. Now we have a solution. It's very simple. What Moshe Rabbeinu is saying? He says, what are you putting him in this position? Why? And Rashi explains through the whole back and forth that the Jewish people really were tzaddikim. But the Erev Rav that Moshe Rabbeinu chose on his own to bring the Jewish nation, they caused the Jewish people to complain. And what was the goal of the Erev Rav? To break away from the religion. Bechinam, free. And they push the Jews. Listen, now we have the yoke of Torah. We cannot marry who we want. We cannot be with our sisters, our aunts. Who knows what? We in the mishpach, which is easy to get. Arayah is out. And not only Arayah is out, we have the yoke of mitzvahs, oila mitzvahs. We want bechinam, we want free. So what was the push of the crying of the Jewish people? Was the Erev Rav that caused the Jewish people to complain. Now who made a decision to bring the Erev Rav? Moshe Rabbeinu, not Hashem. It was Moshe Rabbeinu's problem. So now Moshe Rabbeinu has a problem. What his problem is, Hashem says, I will give them, they need to give me meat. They're complaining when meat. He said, I cannot carry those goods. Why? Kill me. Instead of them killing me. Kill me first. I don't want to see my fault. I brought the Erev Rav. And the Erev Rav caused the Jewish people to sin. I'm responsible for this. And I have to fight, and when I responsibility, even if the Jewish people kill me, and the cause of my decision, so better kill me, get rid of me. Then Hashem turns it back. He says, okay, you say you cannot carry them, you're going to have 70 people will help you in the decisions. And then what happens? They will carry the cargo now to yourself. And tell the Jewish nation, I'm going to give him food for 30 days. So Moshe Rabbeinu says, there's 600,000 men need meat for 30 days. How's it possible? Father, Hashem is not going to make miracles. Hashem can command me to the level that I need to be killed. That's what Hashem commanded me. And it's my fault that my decision, I brought the Erev Rav to the people. So miracles cannot happen. It's my responsibility. See, the miracle cannot happen. So he said, how's it going to be? So better kill me. So what Hashem said, you made a mistake. You think my head is short? I'll make a miracle. So So if this pshat is not Rabbi Akiva. So Rabbi Akiva says it was a sin.
What Moshe said?
What Moshe sin that he says, how can it happen? So you have to say that Moshe Rabbeinu understood that he's responsible that he brought the Erev Rav. And because of him, a miracle is not going to happen. So now he has a kasha on Hashem's words. So what he's expected to do? To bring the kasha to Hashem? Or to have a belief in Hashem, although it was my sin and you command me to be killed? Or he has to be accepting that. He has to tell the Jewish nation whatever Hashem told him, and he has to accept the possibility to be killed and not ask questions to Hashem. So a miracle, it's like the Cheskuni says. You told me to bring 70 people. It means they're going to get out. There's no nest. The Ramban says, I understood from your words, the skapshul mocha, there won't be a nest. The Ibn Ezra says, I understood there's going to be not going to be a nest because there's only till Atzli Katzadik, not Betlunas. So now I'm adding to all of them. Or my pshat is, he told them, you take responsibility even to your death because it was your psak, it was not mine, or not Hashem's psak. So now you have to add all those pshatim. So now you have all those kashas. What do? That's Rebecca. Instead of saying, so now that you have all those kashas, what do? He said, how is it possible, Hashem? Or he says, okay, I'm going to do what Hashem says. How it's possible? Even this against me, that's what I need to do. Maybe I tell him that and he'll kill me. Okay, but Hashem command me to be killed. And not only that, it's brought down that a Jew needs to give his life, these kedashim, not for the sake of a miracle. And not only that, we learned in the previous parshas, like in Nebuchadnezzar, like Daniel and Chaveiro, that if you expect a miracle, Hashem doesn't do a miracle. If you give your life away for the sake of a miracle, Hashem doesn't give you a miracle. So you have to give your life away for Hashem and not expect a miracle. I Hashem, which words? Rely on Hashem, and Hashem knows. I don't understand. I have to understand. Hashem is the balabayit of all this. So instead of saying there was a chisaron of emunah and it's how Hashem can do it, what the problem was the chisaron of that when he couldn't, and he understood that Hashem took that Hashem told him he has to take responsibility and he has to put his life away to be killed, and the miracles will not happen. So instead of asking a question to Hashem, instead of complaining to Hashem, he should ask for clarification. Instead of saying, how is it possible? It's like a tomb. Or he should have said clarification. Or you don't ask clarification, you just do whatever Hashem says. I don't need to ask clarification because Hashem say whatever he's saying. So we watering. So we taking the Ramban, the Chizkuni, or my pshat, doesn't matter either pshat, and we watering, we say true was a sin, but not a sin time he believed that Hashem can, the cheson of understanding what Moshe Rabbeinu doesn't know that Hashem runs the world, he can do what he wants. No, he understood from his own words of Hashem, Hashem doesn't want to do a miracle for A, B, C, and Y. So now that he understood all that is out, now what do? You complain, or you ask a clarification, or you keep quiet. Or keep quiet, or ask a clarification. We never not complain. That's why that was a sin, Hashem, because it was a bit tzina. Hashem, an understanding that Hashem cannot do, that cannot possible. Not possible. He doesn't know Hashem can do what he wants. Moshe Rabbeinu is the biggest snub in the world, forever. That's why they cannot be. So we're minimizing their pshat of Rabbi Akiva. Hashem should give us a bracha. What's a bracha? The bracha is to know that we have to accept Hashem upon ourselves, even to the level of skila, like the judges, like Moshe Rabbeinu, or those who teach students, rabbis. You have to put your life in the nefesh to teach what all you can in Mesirus Nefesh. Rabbi Hanania ben Akashi oimer, Rotz HaKadosh Baruch Hu lezak Yisrael leficha. Hier balem terim shenemar nechobetz aman tzir yotor yadim. Kadei liskadei shemei ramo. Yom odi roch Yusei v'yamid Yusei b'chai echol v'yom echol